Meet Tom, a humble janitor with a sharp mind. While he scrubs floors to prevent sickness, he moonlights in something far more daring: high-stakes heists. What sets Tom apart isn't just his day job, it's his brilliance. As a student, he devised a groundbreaking solution to an oil spill in Mexico, gaining global attention. Before he even graduated, the 8 biggest oil companies vied for him with offers of stock, executive roles, and a $400,000 salary. But Tom turned them all down. Instead, he chose an offer from Walter Moreland in Spain, one that involved cracking an impenetrable vault that had eluded thieves for over 80 years. Walter, a treasure hunter, had recovered ancient artifacts from a sunken ship, among them 3 rare coins holding coordinates to a hidden fortune. But the Spanish authorities confiscated everything and locked it in a legendary vault. Walter assembled a crew. Lorraine, his adopted daughter, mastered impersonation. Klaus handled digital infiltration. James, an ex-soldier, provided muscle. Simon sourced every tool they needed. When Tom arrived, the team hit a snag: they couldn't breach the bank's security system. Thinking fast, Tom suggested posing as an automated voicemail to extract the code from a client. It worked flawlessly. Impressed, the team welcomed Tom as more than just a cleaner. On day 2, Tom began analyzing the Bank of Spain, possibly the most secure structure on Earth, monitored 24/7 and guarded by soldiers stationed across the street. Worse still, the bank's security chief was the former commander of Spain's counter-terrorism force. Cracking this vault would require more than brains, it would take finesse. The team needed 2 physical keys and the chief's fingerprint. Tom and Simon infiltrated as janitors, while Lorraine posed as a fine art insurance agent. Lorraine cleverly acquired the chief's fingerprint by asking him to hold her coffee while greeting the bank director. She reached the first painting, hiding one of the safes. Klaus looped surveillance footage in slow-mo while she copied the key. But with seconds left, the director walked in. Thinking quickly, Lorraine asked for a photo of her scanning the painting, forcing the director to step aside, just in time to avoid blowing her cover. Meanwhile, Tom began scanning the vault's structure using a concealed device under a meeting room table. Suddenly, a meeting began above him, trapping him in place. The device malfunctioned at 96%. Tom quickly fixed it, but the scan triggered a silent alarm. As the bank locked down, Lorraine had just finished copying the second key, but forgot to return it. The team decided to pass the key to Tom, who stealthily returned it just as a guard entered. He pretended not to hear the alarm, claiming he was listening to music. With the scan data, Tom discovered a hidden water chamber. The vault used a scale mechanism. Any weight imbalance during entry would trigger a flood. James and Simon confirmed a massive weighing system beneath the bank. Unfortunately, the underground room was reinforced with titanium and concrete, nearly unbreachable in under 15 days. With time running out, morale dipped. Walter took a walk and observed a massive crowd watching the World Cup. He had a breakthrough. During the finals, every nearby camera would focus on the fans. They'd use that moment to infiltrate the bank from above, not below. Spirits lifted, but their success still depended on one thing: Tom solving the vaults. He got to work tirelessly designing a strategy to outwit the world's most secure vault. Tom places a cup of water on a scale, watching as the balance tips ever so slightly. He removes the cup, sprays liquid nitrogen onto the scale, and then places the cup back. This time, the balance doesn't move. The scale is frozen, completely unresponsive, Tom explains. This freezing trick could neutralize the vault's weight-sensitive floor. But to pull it off on a massive scale, they'd need gallons of liquid nitrogen. The final plan is set into motion. The World Cup match between Spain and the Netherlands kicks off, giving the crew exactly 105 minutes to execute the heist. Ziplining onto the bank's rooftop, they cut through a skylight and drop inside. They crawl through over 100 meters of tight piping, until they reach the chamber housing the legendary vault. To cross a wide gap, they deploy a collapsible ladder and finally reach their target. Klaus gets to work, hacking the vault's outer system, while the others prepare the keys and fingerprint. Inside, the vault looms vast, mechanical, and unyielding. Simon begins freezing the floor, using tanks of liquid nitrogen. As the cold creeps across the surface, the weight sensors go dormant. With the danger momentarily neutralized, the team enters the vault and searches for the container holding the ancient coins. But then the bank's patrol team notices the breach on the roof. They're closing in. Inside the vault, Lorraine finds the container and retrieves the coins. Suddenly, James turns on them. He was never loyal, he's an undercover agent, and now he wants the treasure for himself. Faced with no other option, Lorraine hands over the coins. Their window is closing. As the freezing effect wears off, the vault's defense systems reactivate. The floor tips, water floods in, trapping Tom, Lorraine, and James. James, an experienced soldier, uses his combat training to swim out, escaping with the stolen coins. Back above, the chief of security declares a state of emergency. Soldiers gear up and race to the vault. Tom and Lorraine are in real danger. Water is rising fast, and escape seems impossible. In a desperate move, Tom devises a trick to fool the system into thinking the vault is full again. It will begin draining. He tells Simon to add all the empty nitrogen tanks onto the scale. It's not enough. Simon is about to give up when he notices his radio and tosses it on. 2. It works. The scale shifts. The water stops rising and starts to drain. Armed soldiers burst into the vault, expecting to capture the thieves red-handed. But it's empty. Tom and Lorraine are gone. They escaped through the draining system and emerged onto higher floors of the bank. But the security team isn't far behind. Time is running out. Lorraine remembers a gallery room she once visited for her art. Scant the window. There is often left ajar. They sprint to the room, find the window, and climb out into the open air. Shedding their jackets, they disappear into the massive crowd gathered in the square. The soldiers spot them closing in fast. Just when it seems like all hope is lost, Spain scores the winning goal. The plaza erupts. Fireworks, flares. Screaming fans flood the area. The chaos is overwhelming. In the midst of the celebration, the soldiers lose sight of their targets. Tom and Lorraine vanish into the sea of jubilation, free and victorious. Several days later, James delivers the stolen coins back to his employer. However, when the coordinates are decoded, they point to the Eiffel Tower location that doesn't align with their intended target. It quickly becomes apparent that they've been outmaneuvered by Walter's crew. Meanwhile, Lorraine had secretly swapped the coins in the vault, leading James to steal the wrong set. Elsewhere, Tom and his team are vacationing at a resort in France. By chance, they uncover the actual coordinates to the treasure's true location. The team discovers that the treasure has been moved to the Bank of England. With this new information, they prepare for another daring heist, ready to put their skills to the ultimate test. The Vault is a stylish heist thriller that mixes brainy puzzles with treasure-hunting thrills. Set against the backdrop of Spain's 2010 World Cup victory, it follows a young engineer, Tom "Freddie" Highmore, as he joins a crew to infiltrate the world's most secure vault beneath the Bank of Spain. While the film offers clever setups and uses real history to boost intrigue, it leans heavily on familiar heist tropes. The characters lack depth, and emotional stakes are minimal. Still, with tight direction and a unique European twist, it's an enjoyable, if not groundbreaking, entry into the genre.